Who wants to get some crypto? Who wants to get some crypto on the Costas Verdes channel? We're going live here today. Yeah, now you can hear me. Sound check. Maybe. All right. Check. All right. My voice is on for all the different transition scenes. Okay. So Bitcoin be doing what we thought it was going to do on this channel. So the only thing to do now is to find out where it's going. Let's right behind me, you will find everything that's important on a Bitcoin chart that you need to have on yours as well. Take a quick moment to pause this and go ahead and get it on your chart as best as you can. This is everything that's important, even the up and down stuff, because this is when that marks when volatility will increase. And I think those lines, they work even better than volatility indicators for short-term time frames. So let's go ahead and look. Now that Bitcoin has done exactly what I thought it was going to do, my most favorite out of three possibilities, right? I also thought the second most favorite wicks down here. It did not. But my first choice is playing out. Bitcoin interacted very bullishly with the monthly open, but is stuck in this blue zone. So the monthly open just happens to be in a major horizontal. So let's dive in to see how high Bitcoin would go. And more specifically, I want to show you why it's almost guaranteed that it's not going to roll over from this point. It's almost guaranteed. So nothing's guaranteed, but it's as close to a guarantee as you're ever going to get in crypto and in probabilities that it's going to break above this line. And I want to show you why. It's not common, but let's go get some crypto. Alrighty, and I just bought $12,000 of Dogecoin on a whim right before it started spiking up. Yeah, I did it in my Discord video. I said, should I do it? All right, let's do it. Let's get some freaking Doge because it looks like it's gonna go up. But this is a Bitcoin portion of the stream. All right, what is Bitcoin going to hit on its way up, with the assumption that I'll show you why I'm assuming it later. So you'll have to stay till the end. Why it's almost guaranteed it's going to go up. Where will it go and why? I have a line here only marked off on this chart because it aligns with a different chart of Bitcoin that has essentially a different strategy. So it's almost a placeholder from a different chart. Does that make sense? So actually, see how this chart is a little bit different? Okay, this is a macro channel from the 69K top, right? If you see and I show this during my not my live shows, but my live streams. I have a rolling chart. It goes from this chart, so it says macro, and if you don't watch my live charts, you should, and then micro, so you know what's going on, right? So it's from that other chart. So 1772 area, right here. Oops, sorry. Ooh. Why is that Give me a sec. I am missing something on there. I hid something, and now I don't know where it is. Son of a gun. Oh, there it is, popped up. Perfect. All right, this. That's what it's roughly marking off. All right? And you can see here that this big dump down, that marks roughly the top of it, 17,220. And if we go over here to current price, this is the exact moment the weekly 10 will hit it. And you know what? We just went over on my channel. When you go below an origin line, there are only three ways possible that you can act, that Bitcoin has permission to act, if you have not hit the next origin line down. And if you're a new viewer, just go to my previous videos. I mean, I need to make a standalone video on the rules of it, just because it's obvious that it's real and it works beautifully. But For new viewers, just realize that there are specific rules, and it's only ever been broken once in 13 years of all history, and it probably won't be broken again because Wyckoff and the direct textbook manipulation of a pattern, printing a pattern to your whim, is probably not going to happen again on that macro of a scale. And that's the only time the rules ever been broken was in July, on July 21st, 2021. That's when it pumped up. All right, so anyway, here we go. Within those three ways, the two main ones are if you have a nice bounce at the original reaction. First way is you stay on top. The second way is you float on bottom, or at least you use this as you float on bottom, close to it, not far from this origin line, which goes back 12 years in price history. So float on top, float very close to the bottom, or on both sides, like ride it like a horse, or you stay under it and go sideways. And in every single time that case happened, which is happening now, right? Because we haven't had a retest of this yet. Good, but as of now, it almost looks way more certain that the third one's going to happen. It's going to touch the weekly 10 and then go down. Because in these situations where it goes below the origin line and goes this sideways this long, every time this bear market, 100% that it did that. I think it's only twice, but still, every time it hits the weekly 10 and goes down. Every time. There are only three ways this can move, I'm telling you, on a 45-day scale, and we've covered this extensively. So I'm making a placeholder for this line here, okay? Because I scroll it on the other chart, on my live chart, and for my community. All right, and now the price is moving, I'm not going to make that public anymore. So if you want my live chart so you can see from here to here, actually, zoom out. Anyway, here to here, Dixie, what that's doing, what the Dow Jones is doing, and why it's leading everything, why Apple will create the next altcoin 45% move down at 140. Total 3 chart. Apple is specifically what will make this go down, or not make it necessarily causality, but it will coincide exactly with it. It's going to be exact. Bitcoin versus stocks, so you can tell how stocks are going to affect Bitcoin or not affect it. So anyway, so on and so forth. And then I put you at tether dominance, which is the opposite of Bitcoin. It's the inverse essentially. Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Dogecoin. You can have all your favorite stuff, and then it starts over. It just scrolls over. So that is what the live chart covers. All right, back to business right now. And again, that's only available to YouTube Cryptillion tier and the Discord members. Links to, on what that's about in the description section of all my videos. You can go check that out. And you can pause this video and go do that now if you would like. All right. Now I have this described. Now I need to throw on the weekly 10. Boom. So, even though I haven't covered why it's almost guaranteed it won't stop here, if that's true, then what's obviously is it going to hit next? It's going to hit this line, and or depending on how fast it gets there, it's going to go above it to touch the red line. And it's all going to happen close to traditional finance closure. So I think it's going to happen right around this line, because after this line, then Bitcoin typically goes sideways. When spot trade stocks close, or spot and futures of stocks indices close, it doesn't get a lot of action anymore because the price is literally being moved to the whim of traditional finance. Normal people are not trading this. It's all bots of highly sophisticated bots. And what happens? They don't take risk on the weekend, so they just keep it moving. They do their weekend slideways algos. They literally I'm serious. This is not very far away from reality. I would guess. I haven't been there, but what I'm about to say is probably pretty close. For example, when you leave work on Friday, right? You might finish your last email or whatever the case is, hit your last, nail in, I don't know, or check out your last patient, make your last delivery, whatever. And you got to know that feeling. But that feeling applies to the people making price move, because it's 90% of all trading volume, not transaction, trading volume, making price go up and down. Transaction does not do that. Sending Bitcoin to somebody, right? That is not controlled by traditional finance. But when it is, Bitcoin will go up. Anyway, but the trading is. And so that feeling on Friday, the weekend, you hit that button and go home, right? or not everybody hits a button. I've never hit a button, but I'm done. So their I'm done button is turn on the algos that make it go sideways. That's what's happening. Is it guaranteed to happen this weekend? No, but it's just what's been happening. All right, so let's get. So I think that if it doesn't happen by this line, so this is almost exactly at 4:30 p.m. New York when markets close. Like I have it down to the, it's within 10 minutes of accuracy. So these candles, tomorrow, Friday at 4:20, 4:30 p.m. If I see that it's still stuck under here by then I think I'm going to be wrong. So this time axis is how I can tell I'm probably going to be wrong. Hell, even if it comes down here right now, I still think it could zoom up right before market close easily. And that's only like 3%, right? It's not very high. Yeah, 4.5%. Maybe we can move 4.5% in 10 seconds. We've seen it live on our Discord stuff during CPI data. And one time we went down to the 1 second candle and we saw that it moved 5.5% in 10 seconds flat. And then went straight back down. And all in 30 seconds. But it went 5% in 10 seconds. And then it took 20 seconds to hover there and then fall all the way back down. Yeah, so that can be done in 10 seconds, literally. So even if it comes down here again, I bet it would still go up. However, regardless of that, I want to show you now why I think so strongly that price is almost guaranteed to go up. Again, I think this. You do not. I'm not guaranteeing you. It's for myself. All right. Ethereum is the key. And that's how I knew. So Ethereum is how I was essentially the first person, or well, maybe not the first person, but way before stock to flow model was obviously going to be wrong. I said, Ethereum chart says it will be wrong, and here is why. And that was it. And I think I posted on Twitter today on the Throwback Thursdays, that video. All right, anyway. And it was using channels of Ethereum, specifically to identify that it's not possible stock to flow will work. I already knew it wasn't possible, right? So what I'm about to show you, it's honestly even better probability than that. Okay, watch. To make a bold claim that he's going to be wrong this month, and here's exactly why. While price was still going up, like everybody thought it was going to happen. 96K was the number it was supposed to hit, right? I was like, it's not going to happen. All right, so on a decent sized chart. So now I'm getting to the portion where this is why I am almost guaranteeing myself, there are no guarantees, but close to guaranteeing that that's not the local high of this pump. On the RSI, as long as you haven't, with this one, on the RSI chart with control zones like this, bearish and bullish, if the white line is touched, so about 80, if the 80 line on RSI is touched on a time frame, usually 1 hour and above. Here I'm on the 30-minute chart. So if I go to the 1 hour, it didn't quite touch it. Close, but didn't quite touch it. And again, this rule is better applied to the 1 hour chart. 30-minute, it's kind of close enough, but it takes shaves a little bit of the probability off the table. But for me, it's still close enough to a guarantee. It's close, but not quite. All right. But when this white line is hit on a time frame 1 hour and above, the higher the time frame it hits it, the stronger the near guarantee is that what just happened at the exact moment price was here, that's not the high. It's not even close to the high. If you're on the daily, if the daily ever hit this, you're on the first of 4 pumps over weeks and weeks. If the daily ever hit this, I don't know if it's ever hit it. Maybe it has a couple times, but all right. So this white line's a big deal, and what it means is you essentially have inertia. If you have a horse running towards you at not full speed, not too scary, but jogging, and you try to stop it, can you? No. Why? Well, obviously physics. I'm not going to go into the formulas and everything, but mass times velocity squared, all that stuff, force. But you can't. So when it hits this line, it turns into a horse. Even if it starts coming down, price. So this isn't the horse. Price becomes the horse. Even though this isn't price, but it turns price into a horse. You can't slow it down that fast. You can't. And even as this goes into a downtrend, every little move up, boom, 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 Every one of those is a higher high in price. And so that would mean that is the first of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more higher highs. Let's say that it goes, so since it's the 30-minute, it can get a little bit more flip-floppy. Let's say it comes all the way down here, 45-degree angle, the best angle in all of crypto. Well, what happens when it bounces and comes here? That's a higher high. So no matter how you cut the dice. All right, let me just show you. So on the 1 hour chart, this would have been a higher high, this exact peak. On the 30-minute, because it's in the green zone and it went up. On the 1 hour and above, that would have been a higher high. On the 30-minute, I don't know. So the effect of what I'm saying is more appropriate on the 1 hour and above. Yeah, 1 hour and above that would have been. So let's go see if that was actually a higher high. I don't know. I don't use the 30-minute chart. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so there you go. Perfect. Bam. It was a higher high. It was higher than this high. See that? And it was the second lower high on the 30-minute chart. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Those were lower highs, but they're still in the green zone. So any tick up in the green zone means a higher high on price. I guess on the 30-minute chart too. That's why. It's just how it works. And so the only thing that you need to know, the grain of salt. So there is a grain of salt to take with this. All right. Not a rule, but a grain of salt. The grain of salt is about the rule though. On altcoins, it can go straight up and straight down. So the more finicky the altcoin, the less, I guess, quote unquote, guaranteed, the less inertia you have. It's almost as if touching this white line on RSI, it might or it might not turn price of that into a horse. It might, the magic fairy dust might be wrong. It might turn it into a freaking Tinkerbell and it just crashes down and you easily stop it and it goes straight down. So it's almost, I don't know if you play those. I don't play video games anymore, but when I was 12, I played, what's it called? Might and Magic 6 through 8 or whatever, magic spells, and you could have a knight or whatever. Anyway, like 5 people on an RPG, whatever. So like I'm at, those games where it's a probability on how much hit points or damage you take. So it's actually a statistical probability. It's like the game rolls dice on how much you attack points and how much damage points, right? So it's very similar on altcoins. Here's the grain of salt. This line is like that. It has a few things that the fairy dust might make it. It's like Harry Potter without much control of his magic. He wants to make somebody not have a cold anymore, but he turns them into a frog. Like that's what this line is for altcoins. All right, it's still magical. It's still magical. It means either you're gonna go a lot higher, or it means you're getting ready to dump on alts because you're rolling the dice. But if Bitcoin does it on a 1 hour above and the altcoin does it, then you're locked in. That's it. It's just how it works, folks. If you are in this green zone on a time frame 1 hour and above, every tick up is a higher high in price. Even if you leave the green zone, like you dump hard, like I just said on price, that would mean price comes down to here. That's what which chart was I on? That's what that would look like. RSI of the 30-minute would come here at a 45-degree angle. But what would happen on this? That's a higher high in price. And so Ethereum, that means it's not done. It can't be. Like it could be. There are no guarantees. So it almost looks baked in that you're going to get a failure pattern above this trend line. I think this is a local trend line, and you're going to touch the weekly 10. And it's probably going to happen before this line happens. And I'm going to be using the time axis. Well, I could also use an invalidation point, down here. Like if you start using this as resistance and then take out your punch low, okay, well then at that exact moment of using on Ethereum 1265, for example, as resist, so punch low, rejection, take out the punch low in that exact moment, then going up is improbable. But not until then. Not even right here is it improbable. It's still more probable. I just don't think it's going to happen. But there are two ways I would invalidate this and get out of my 1x long on Doge with 5 digits that I just did on I recorded and everything. Just, hey, I'm going to FOMO in. But I have my stops in, so I already know exactly how much I'll lose if I'm wrong. It's not very much. Anyway, but I know how to bail in 2 ways. If Ethereum, so I'm going to probably use Ethereum to judge my Bitcoin moves, right? Because this is more precise, right? Like this line is too perfect. If it comes here and it takes out its punch low, Bitcoin will go down too. That's it. And that's how it would learn, but not until it takes out so punch low means the first low. Sometimes it's the second low. Sometimes it goes boom, 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 and then it creeps up. Sometimes, but usually it's the first punch low, boom, you take it out in that exact moment. Then it's invalidating my theory of near guarantee. Another one where I would invalidate or make improbable, so I would have a probability flip if it's hanging out down here and it crosses this line. Then I don't think Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to have what's in it then maybe it will just roll over. But as of now, I know 2 ways. I know what I will see. So here's the value in this. Okay. For new viewers who are on my channel, like, oh, it could go up, could go down, goes that way. It's great. No, here's why this is valuable. I just let you know the probabilities of going up and to where it would go up and why. From even a macro standpoint of the origin lines and everything, right? So I completed the picture probably as wholly as anybody really could within a time frame that I have. But here's the valuable part. I just told you what to look out for if I'm wrong. Who does that? Here's why I think what I think. It's a strong probability, or do I have a small edge? Is it a tradable edge? Right? So I just told you it's strong probability. And I'm like kind of like geeked out about, oh, it's going to go up, right? Because I'm in a pretty big trade right now. However, I took the time, like this is exactly what's going to happen if I'm wrong. And I would use Ethereum to judge overall crypto. What would we see on Bitcoin if I'm wrong? It would be the same line, the vertical line, I mean, up and down line. Let's see here. So the same thing, invalidation here. It would become more probable that I'm wrong. So it doesn't mean it can't happen. It means it becomes improbable at that moment. If it's, hanging out over here or even here at this time. Okay, that's Friday at 4:20 p.m. at New York when markets close. Or on Bitcoin, I think it has to take this out. And I don't think you need a punch low because it's probably going to go it would probably go like this. And it would get trapped. So on Bitcoin, even though Ethereum would probably have a punch low, this punch low, it would have support here as Ethereum's already fallen off. So I think it would actually come down here then, or all the way down here. But regardless, once it comes down, it's going to get rejected by this line. So my invalidation point will not require a punch low. It's just this line right here. Maybe use it as rejection, but no punch low needed. So zoom into this part. Did it use it as a rejection point? Let's zoom way in. Let's see how the candles behaved. So do you see one instance, where the 5-minute candle behaved or interacted in a bearish fashion with this line? No, you don't. That's why I didn't bail on my longs. Not even during this. It only did that for 1 minute. I stayed in it. Would I have been better off had I bought all my alts about 12 hours later? Yeah, sure. But I had no reason to bail on my plan. And I stuck with my plan and everything's going up now. See that? So this is why I keep stressing. It's not about candle closures anymore with traditional finance in it. It's not. It's how are the tiny candles behaving on a correct line. So what I mean by correct line is you have to know what's in play. And that's why I'm offering my charts to everybody scrolling. So, because I have a good knack for knowing what's in play. Do I always guess right what happens at those intersections? No. But man, just, it seems like what I think is in play, it's almost exactly what big money's looking at, or it represents it. But I don't always guess. So I'm not, my statistical, I guess, if I had to audit myself, how often I was right about how it will interact with that, it wouldn't be as high as a percentage of did I in general get what's in play correct. Does that make sense? So let's see here. But that is why. So we just saw it, 0 interactions bearish with that line. But the very first bearish interaction, so let's say it happens like soon. The very first rejection and tick down, you don't need a punch low. It's going to break down and it's going to hit this line. That is it. Now, I'll leave you with this. How do you draw this line? I don't think I was zoomed out. I think you need to go to about the 30-minute chart to see, maybe 15. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. So this goes back to November 21st. Not too long ago. That's it. Just a simple trend line. And I made it a, a rotated rectangle because of this wick here. And these wicks were perfectly on the bottom line. 2 perfect, and then 1 here. And you saw that as it was charging up. So, okay, so now you know why I made that line. Let's zoom into that. Watch. Like, this is how I know what's in play. So just listen to what I'm doing. I mean, seriously. So look at this. This is why I knew to make it a rotated rectangle, a range, like, or a fat trend line, like a tube trend line. It can move within it, right? Here and here. That's it. And then the confirmation of this, because how it right there, that wick. See that? Too perfect. Too easy. All right. And then now let's see, is that really what I should have done? Like, is this line in play because of this wick? Is it real? Well, let's go find out. Was it real? Did it interact like crazy? And when it went above this line, is that when it like really went up? Or did it really go up after it used it as support and then flew up? So if any of those is true, like it used it as resistance, and or it exploded when it got over, and or it got on top of it, then exploded after using perfect support, we know that big money was looking at this line somehow, some way. We can confirm it, backtest, like our audit. It's just self-auditing. Did I draw the right line? So now let's go. Let's go to the 1-minute chart. I'm telling you, small candles, you don't have to trade on this, but to understand what price is doing, these tiny, tiny, tiny candles are where it's at. These are too small of candles. I'll go to the 5-minute. Okay, so when it fell down, where did the candle close? Exactly at it. Fell below it. Okay, boom. So far it looks pretty good. Here's another one. Looks pretty good. Not convincing yet. Oh, this looks a little more convincing. Bounce, 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 swoop, bloop. So where did this big candle, where did buyers become more interested? They came more interested at the point where they knew it needed more force to get above and stay above this line. So they were looking at this line. They were looking right at it. That's why they came in with more force, because they tried to defend it, failed. And yeah, this doesn't look like they actually sold it. The same people sold who bought. I think this was whoever was going for this and whoever's going for this, those were different people. This was a fight. This was not this. So a lot of times it's the same people. The same person who sells off Bitcoin into their longs, because the longs on futures are waiting, but they're selling on spot to make futures go down because they have a few $10 million of Bitcoin to control price within a 2 to 3% range and guarantee you're going to be right, essentially, within limits. And then they once their orders fill, then they use all the money they just got from selling Bitcoin. Then they buy that. All right, but all at once, like harder. All right. So anyway, but that's not what this was actually a battle. I can tell that this was not the same people. All right. So, but you can tell from this, they know their algo said we need force to get above here. Okay. All right. Where did the come back down? Wick touched a hot stove, pull back. Right? So it looks like it touched a hot stove, but boom, see that wick right there? And then lost it. And then got rejected by it. And then got rejected by it. And then got rejected by it. And then used it as support, fell down, boom. And then the classic failure rejection pattern. And the other classic one is the flip-flop. This comes first. That's it. Boom, boom. Right? Classic. That means this line is here. I talk about this exact thing all the time. Like as one of the top 3 ways price will interact with an upper resistance. So, okay. Now, did the move up come after it established? So it didn't happen exactly. So it actually happened a lot differently than what I would have guessed. So the big candles got committed to buying to get it up to there, and then it confirmed it as support, and then it went up. Okay. It actually behaved a little bit differently on that line than I would have expected, but come on, look at this. I mean, I think all that confirms that that was in play. That is what big money. So you want to trade with big money. And that's why the skill set of knowing what's in play is so important. Because then all you have to deal with is, okay, I know that's what's in play, but how is price going to react? Well, then you have indicators. Did the RSI hit the white line? Well, in this case it did. So we kind of know where it's going with an extremely high probability and an extremely strong edge. Enough for me to buy 5 digits worth of Dogecoin on spot. Oh, God. Again, my stops are in. I know exactly. I would actually lose. I made it so I'd lose $420 if I'm wrong. Exactly. But I'm getting ready to move my stops up once we get another move up, so I will be zero risk. I'll be in a risk-free trade after fees. I'll put it in profit, enough to cover the fees. So anyway, there is a different skill set of knowing what's in play versus what to do when what's in play is being touched. It is different. They're 2 different skill sets. You could be really good at the skill set of how can I interpret price will interact with this area, but not be very good at knowing what's in play. So for example, I have people who are really good at TA who their main reason for being in my Discord, because over time they realize, fuck, like your lines are freaking perfect and I can't make it the same. So their main use of Discord is they want to trade a lot and they know that what I do with what's in play is pretty solid. It's even more solid than me guessing what's going to happen at those levels. And so it's a totally different. Does that make sense? So a lot of people use this as their main value, what's in play. And sometimes they'll make totally different trading decisions that I make, but at the same exact line that I made. Make sense? And a lot of times they're right. And because I've been saying I'm not as good at guessing exactly what will happen. But I do know I typically do know the 3 exact ways price will behave. But guessing which one is a lot more difficult. And that's anything else on Bitcoin. Weekly 10, which is not on the chart right now. I should put it back on. And make myself small. I'm going to plead with you one more time. Try to make your chart. Let's go to the 15 minute. Let's go to the 1 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. All free Tradingview folks will have the 1 hour chart available. All right, my last plea. Oh, can't see the side. Damn it. Well, I can't. Whatever. This. Make your chart look like this. And if you want, you could put it all in a folder and make it disappear with one click. So you don't have to look at my lines all the time if you have your own, right? So clear off your lines, put them in a folder, put hide, and then put my lines on, and then click hide, and then you can turn them on whenever you want. And it's going to help you greatly because going into this area here, it's going to get crazy. Next week's going to be madness. There's going to be so much cool shit happening. It might be too hot to handle, honestly. It might be when I actually stop trading, and I'll wait for a lower high if I want to short or a higher low if I want to long. I don't think I'm going to piss with this. I'd rather be taking profits on wicks up and just being done from a position that I'm in from back here. That's kind of my plan. When Bitcoin and Ethereum hit their weekly 10, I want to be out of everything, right? Because that's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to hit the weekly 10 and go down. So peace out, everybody, on who's watching the Bitcoin recording. And if you are watching the recording, live stream, I'm staying here. Bitcoin recording, make sure you take a look at these things popping up because I put a lot of time in it just for you. Super cool free content. You haven't checked out those, and we'll see you next time. All right, that was for the recording. I'm staying here to stream. I can stream until 8 o'clock. Okay. So exciting. Bitcoin's so exciting. Man, it's so cool. Price is so neat, everybody. And if I could say, so how many people are here? Fuck, that's a lot of freaking super chats, everybody. Damn, I've never been bombarded with money like that. Damn. Well, thank you. I didn't even notice. So let me give you one more thing before I start looking at questions over there and this is something I've told my Discord before, but it's becoming more and more prominent, and I want to share this. So I made the choice to play futures a little heavier during this bear market. And I just held tether and didn't even deal with buying and selling crypto, like actual crypto, because futures isn't, you're not buying and selling crypto. It's an IOU of that platform. When you buy on futures, it's not pertinent to Bitcoin. It's pertinent to that exchange only, right? It's literally an IOU. It's a contract. But I decided to only do that, and I just held tether. Not a bad choice, right? I mean, it's okay, because if you're holding tether, you're 1x short. That's fine. I did choose to trade Dash, though, and at first, because I missed the big one, I missed my 1x short opportunity. I would have like 400 Dash right now if I had that one. I just missed one nice trade, though. So when Dash was at 124 and it fell straight to 70, I thought I had some profit taking that didn't hit, and it just slid right down, and I was like, fuck. I just still have the same amount of Dash, but I have like 2/3 the money. And that was a bummer, but I still accumulated Dash in that next move. But since then, since that one missed 1x short opportunity, since July, actually, I've more than tripled my Dash. And that's made me realize, fuck, maybe I should have been not just holding tether, but at least used a portion of that to do a swing trade of my, it doesn't even have to be coins you're holding next bull run, just coins that you know well. You know how they move. You know the chart. And so I said to myself, well, shoot, I'm having a lot of success with almost no stress. Spot trade, I just sell, I just buy, I just kind of guess how low it's going to go, and I make a zone, and I just buy it in that zone. And then sometimes it takes a week or two to finally bottom out, and with that buy, I might be like 3%, 5%, 6% at a loss as it scoops it out, right? And usually they'll have a zone so big that not all my limit buys at the bottom are filled, right? So I'm still filling orders. And then once it starts leveling out, I'll cancel the orders that didn't fill, so that I tried to buy it too low, and then I'll just market buy, and then I'll sell, and then I'll just sell into a zone up higher. I kind of know roughly where it's going to go, and that's all I do. I just trade zones. I don't even care about selling a top. I don't care if I sell on Dash. I originally just sold at $38, and it spiked up to $45. I still got a third of that move, but damn. But it doesn't matter. I don't care about it. It's not stressful. I know it's going to come back down at bare minimum to the point at which I sold it. So I'll have the same amount of Dash eventually. Worst case, right? So it's stress-free. But then I started doing that for my other altcoins, and my account's growing. It's not by drastic measures, but like every little bit I cross, like let's say for you, every $1,000 is a milestone in your account. Like it's a noticeable click, right? Like today I have 3,000, and then in a month I have 4,000. Like, click, that's a threshold. For me, I've seen a couple thresholds, just zone trading. So, and I kind of regret not doing that this whole time. So, I had on my channel mentioned the only way to make money in crypto right now, is to the small time frames because everything's so choppy. That is partly true if you want to make money in that day. So actually that was 100% true if you want to make money in that day, but I don't think I said that. I said the only way to make money in crypto at all is this small trading stuff. But those swing trades, even in a bear market, spot trading can be, I'm making milestones here. So don't, and that's something you want to try without, a lot of risk. For example, you have a certain amount of money reserved to buy Dogecoin or BPro or Verasity or whatever. If you came over, to my Discord, to have up to 10 live interactions with me on camera, and you can ask me questions on a microphone, you could, you wouldn't have to say, oh, I'm using all of my reserved BPro money or all my reserved Dogecoin money. You can just test it out and you can get comfortable with that plan and we can do it together. And that's what we do a lot on the Discord as well. But usually those questions are futures. Where should I put my stop? Where should I take profit? All that stuff. Or should I enter this? So, but anybody wanting to do that, that's what the Discord's for. Links to that in the description section. So let's go do some questions. All right. Crypto bull. Oh, time frame for no, we got to do Mitchell's first. All right, time frame for KDA at 70 cents, please. Time frame for KDA at 70 cents. February 2020. It's February. I already know. Well, I already know my target. I don't know if that's true, but I already know my target. So let's do this. And this is for Mitchell Huring. Thank you for the super chat. KDA. All right, I just got a super chat about KDA. And the question is, when will, by what time frame do I expect Kadena to be at 70, which is my target? And I'm really glad that question is there because, well, not because it's a super chat, but I've had a lot of people come on and say, it's never going to be hit. No way. It's like, oh, that's the target. It's probably going to be it. All right, so KDA, here we go. I'm going to guess February because that's when I think a potential Bitcoin bottom will be. And again, that is just a guess. It could be when the big move down begins, and my guess is a little too early and it doesn't get down there until April. That's possible. It's obviously possible. I'm just guessing on time. You can't time the market very well. I have a few times before, but you can't do it very often. All right, so 70 cents. So what we're going to do here to do this is, when you hear rise over run, what try to remember back in school, what is that? It's slope, mathematical slope, right? So a positive slope is up, negative slope is down, and sideways is 0. This is 180, okay? Or no, that's unwritten. No, that's like dividing by 0. That doesn't work. There is no slope there. There's a slope here that's 0. All right. So, run is the time axis, right? So if price has a natural slope, then just identify what that is. Make a rotated rectangle. It's probably going to stay in that slope. Is it guaranteed? No. But now think, well, let's say there will be a capitulation event. Maybe it will go under or spike under like it did back here in that capitulation event. Okay, that's kind of a safe assumption. So let's say spikes below. Boom. When would that happen? That would be January. That looks about right. So honestly, this chart is saying it's going to be before February. Unless we get a short squeeze here. A Short squeeze could happen. That's kind of why I bought Doge, and Doge looked like it was going to pop up to at least almost guarantee myself I could get myself a stop and profit, which at this point I think I can, but I haven't gone to do that yet. So let me take off this. That's the weekly 10. Yeah, so here's why I think it could be earlier. Look at what's happening. What is this? Oh, I need to get rid of that. Okay, that's confusing me. And then I'll get, yeah, here we go. So take a look. What's happening right here? What is this yellow line? It's an origin line. What is this red thing right here? That's the weekly 10. Don't they have opposite slopes? Yeah, they're going to crash into each other, right? Yeah. Do both affect price to very extreme degrees? Yes. So Kadena has to, by force, make up its mind by Christmas or New Year's, like around there. But it literally cannot, it has to. It has to break out of this triangle before New Year's. It's almost not possible that it doesn't. It's like, I honestly, I've never seen it like poop out, like extrude out or something. I don't think I've ever seen that. Because these two are just such big things for price. So it's going to be a squeeze of some sort. And you don't need to guess which way it's going to go. Why don't you need to guess? Because you're going to be able to see it with the small candles. Like I've been going over my channel for, it's been one of my foci points for, I don't know, a few months now. Don't worry about big closures unless it's a weekly, sometimes a daily. But look at the small candles. So you'll be able to see the small candles interacting. As it approaches this, so the weekly 10 coming down, if it's down here, is it interacting bullishly, okay, with the line? So it doesn't go below it and use it as resistance ever. If it goes below it, that's not bearish still. That's not bearish either. That's not bearish. That's bearish. That's bearish. This is not too bearish. Now, does it become bearish when it's way down here? Okay, yeah, that's a flash crash. It happens, but it's not common. So now that we know it must make up its mind by about New Year's, so let's mark off New Year. It's going to be before New Year's, but let's just mark off here. If it goes down at that time or before, the average slope of the move. Now we're going to do the average slope. And again, everybody, this was a big, $20 super chat, so I'm going to give them a little extra here. Now add the average slope. Now we know where it's going to fall. So we have two important lines crossing here, which is going to initiate the move. If it's down, well, we have another important line here crossing what? An origin line. So there you go. And that is on January 10th. 69 cents or 70 cents. So that is my exact guess. If it actually happens like that, that would be badass. But that's just what happened on Bitcoin. I made the exact guess when these here. I'll show you. Watch. Like it could happen on Kadena. Watch. It just did it on. Like I even had team leaders saying, "Oh shit, it did it at the exact time." Fuck. Where was it? Yeah. This is what I did. I think during the video, this blue was a different color, but it's the same thing. Look. Watch. Like it's real. Like folks, I'm telling you, when two important lines cross, it's real. It makes price go to it. It doesn't have to keep going that way, because if this intersection right here, important line, that's what I said on my videos. When this crosses is when it should hit 16.7. It's recorded. Like I did it on 2 or 3 videos, expecting it to come down here. And look, how fucking, on a minute scale, on a 15-minute scale, how far off was I? Right? I said at this cross, this is what will suck price down, and it's going to hit it. 16.7 right here. How far off was I? You can't time the market, but you can get within 3 hours of it. It's not bad. And so with Kadena, the cool thing is those lines are even more powerful for Kadena. So 70 cents exactly on that day. It could be real, folks. I'm telling you. It could be exact. And now, should you bank on that? Like, go sell a house and take on a short or whatever. No, don't do that. Because I told you earlier, don't guess what's going to happen in this triangle. You have to wait to see how does price interact with this or this when it starts interacting with it. But right now it's in the middle. So there's no guessing. Don't guess. Because we could be facing a serious short squeeze, which takes Bitcoin up 25K. It is, but there are lots of shorts in the, like, not just in crypto, but in the market. So I would not guess right now, folks. I'm telling you, a short squeeze is on the table. And I think it's, and honestly, it's, so would this break out of this triangle if Bitcoin hit my targets? I don't think it will. No, it won't. That's 16%. So yeah, even if my higher up Bitcoin, the orange line's hit, Kadena will still be at or just under the weekly 10. That's a 20% move, 16% move. So you got out of me when it'll hit that target, why, but also the idea that it's not guaranteed to break down from here. But if it does, then it should hit it on January 10th, almost exactly. Like that's the target and the win. That's Kadena, everybody. You literally have a sideways triangle. And remember the last two times I said that? That's what so this time I didn't anticipate the triangle. I don't think I did this time. I didn't say, hey, look at this. It's going to go here. Last triangle I did. Last two I did. I drew the triangle and it fell in it and filled out the whole damn thing. This one I didn't anticipate it. But yeah, you have a triangle right here. It's going to do the same thing. And that's Kadena. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Can you look at Telcoin? Yeah, honestly, Telcoin might be one. God. I had the random thought. So about Telcoin, I don't cover that TA a whole lot. However, I do know that among all projects, this is a TA channel for any new viewers that I draw during this recording, during the live stream for Telcoin. Among all crypto projects, when you're thinking about what will survive the bear market, you got to think about it, not just use case, because everything jumps to market. Oh, this is what we're going to do. These are all our promises. Look at my pink paper and my yellow paper and my brown paper. And now look at my rainbow paper, right? Like we have promises over 5 years. Well, okay, that's the use case, promises. But is the use case being used by the target consumer? So Bitcoin, yes, it's being used. Litecoin, is it being used? Yes. Dash, is it being used? Yes. Particularly in Latin America. Okay, so all that, they're monetary coins, not exposed to the SEC in the bear market, all good to go. Telcoin, I don't know much about it, but I do know from my Discord, I have a couple Telcoin geeks in it who use me to say, hey, should I, where should I buy back? And I usually give them pretty good targets. So I've done the TA on it before. I'm getting ready to do it again. But just think about this, though. Among all projects, I don't know if it's exposed, if it's going to have exposure to the SEC. So did it have an ICO? And did the founders keep a significant portion of the coins? Just like on the stock market, when somebody goes IPO, the owners or the founders, the original people, keep almost all of the coins, over half the coins. Usually one person has half the coins or more, half the stock, right? Stay in control of the company, whatever. So did Telcoin have that? But outside of that, because I don't know that information, what I do know, though, is it does have a specific use case, and the use case is being used by its intended end user. So with that alone, I can tell that it has a way better chance of doing well, or to survive the bear market and then come out unscathed next time. Right? So for that, and because its run was so stupid big, I think it was 35,000% or something. It's like the 5th largest run in all of crypto. It's crazy. But because it did that, I think even if it doesn't ever break all-time highs again, right? Even if that's still like if I were trying to accumulate that or pick that up in a bear market, that'd still be a nice run. But with the strong, better likelihood in a bear market that this isn't going to disappear. Because you have to think about that in a bear market. The coin, even like Polygon Matic, the SEC comes at them, it might not disappear, but it's gonna go down a lot, right? You have to think about that, and the SEC is gonna come after crypto this bear market. So all right, so Telcoin, here we go. So I got you. Telcoin has my thumbs ups. I just haven't been an interested buyer because I know it went up too high. I didn't want to buy it until a nasty bear market. Yeah, and now we got it. So, one of my team leaders on Discord is, I think that's tied for his favorite coin. Outside of BPro and that. All right, so Telcoin, I don't have saved, do I? All right, so, I do have it saved. Right there. Well, that's a pretty, I didn't realize it was that pretty. Fuck. All right, well. Huh. All right, so I got a super chat about Telcoin. I don't cover this very much on YouTube, but I have, again, my Discord members are more interested in this. And I remember up here, he's now a team leader. He was like, is it going to go any further? And I was like, dude, it's going way farther. Like, way farther down. And obviously, that's what happened. So, all right. Let's zoom out a little bit. And if you want to copy this, folks, if I'm drawing new viewers to my channel by covering a new coin, take a minute. So I don't think you need to be on the daily chart. You maybe do on the 4 hour. Nope, daily. All right. I'm on the daily chart. If you want to copy this, do it. You don't have to make it the fancy colors or anything. But all you need to know is get one line right and you hold control or command on Mac and drag it and it stays parallel. That's all you need to do. Just hold control down with your pinky and then grab it and then move it. Make these lines. Telcoin fans, there, let me make myself small. Steal this. Or not steal, well, yeah, steal it, but unless you're a content creator, don't do that. Because I came up with origin lines and they are unique, 100% unique to my channel. But they won't be for long. By 2024, you'll see them a lot. I bet. That's my bet anyway. I'm bullish on origin line usage. All right. So what do you so now that we see this whole history, I don't look at this a lot. I want to know what you think. What do you think? No indicators. All we have right now is bare naked price with our bumpers, our general guide. And you can see very clearly these bumpers work. Wick straight up. Support. Broke down. Retested it. Went straight to the next one. Support. Broke down and rode it, so it didn't interact, and then it went this one, resistance, dipped under, went almost all the way up to here, right? Where did it fall to? This one. Where did it run straight up to? This one. Where did it come back down to and base off? This one. So it doesn't interact 100% cleanly, but these are the bumpers. Like, this is it. Copy them, unless you're a content creator. What do you think this is going to... Actually, what the hell was the super chat question? Can I look at Telcoin? Where do you think it will be in 2025? It's my number one coin. Just want to make sure it's a good number one choice. Yeah, so I didn't even read that part. And my whole initial spiel on it was, before I went to price, was, yes, this coin is something I might start picking up in a bear market, actually, for all the reasons I just said. 2025, I have to go to the 5-day chart to do that. I must have done this recently. I don't remember doing this. Because I've only recently started using the extend feature, extend line right. I don't remember this at all. But it looks pretty. So if the markets stay at 4-year cycles, topping out in November 2025. Now, with Telcoin, you can almost guarantee yourself this line will never be hit again. It's just not going to happen. Oh, no, actually, no. Hold on. I didn't take them all the way up. Maybe actually it might have a chance to actually hit that line. Hold on. One moment, please. All I'm doing is lining these with wicks up and support down. Up and down wicks. That's it. So down wick, up wick, down wick, up wick. Perfect. Because the rule of thumb is you you will bear. So you're not going. The next top origin line will be 4 down. Next bull run. So I didn't have it all the way to the top. See how it's all equidistant? It hits the top perfectly. It's not a coincidence, folks. I don't know why these. Honestly, I don't know why these work still. I have a lot of people, whenever I say this, kind of give their suggestions like, oh, it's fib related, or which it might be. That is actually my best guess. I don't know why this works. I don't. But it's technically not important to know why in this one case, because it does work. That's all you need to know. Like, it just works. Like, you know, we can calculate the effects of gravity, you know, but we still don't know why it does it. But we know exactly how it'll behave, like to the exact degree, but we don't know why. All right, anyway, same thing, origin lines. It's like gravity. Just, I don't know. Here we go. 2025, now we count 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. It won't go over that. More realistic, what I like to do to make a better guess is I like to find out what is the equator line. Because Bitcoin's, so what I'm about to say is very important. Bitcoin's previous bottom line is going to be its top line in its future. It held a bottom line for like 10 years. And now it's so far under it that if it goes back up to touch it, in 2025, it'll be over $1 million. But that used to be support. And that was the bottom line. So on altcoins, because that's happening to Bitcoin, I feel it's reasonable to assume that, hey, if the bottom line on Bitcoin is going to be the future support, or maybe it'll never touch it again, honestly, because it would have to be $1.2 million. I'll show you here in a second. It'll have to be $1.2 million Bitcoin in November 2025. To ever hit it again. Or it's got to have a really, really hot mid-cycle, kind of like 2019 up to 14K, but it's got to break all-time highs. It's got to be like a double cycle. It's got to be a double pump. Almost like 2013. It'd have to be like that. So it hits it on the first one, but not like the second one, for example. So it'd be a mixture of 2013 and then the 64 to 69K top. It'd be a blend between there, right? A weaker second push up. But it would be 2 pushes. So yeah, it'd actually be more like this bull run too. This bull run is pretty similar to 2013's. Double push. 2013 was a lot hotter. All right. So let's find a middle ground. Let's say it's this zone, right? Oh, which one is it? I don't know if which one am I gonna pick? I think I'm gonna pick. I don't know if it's gonna be this zone or this zone as my equator. I'm going to go with this one because this looks like more natural resistance. This one looks more like it. If price gets in there, it could hit the top line. So therefore, the bottom line is not going to be, I don't know which one to guess. Let's just go like this. Screw it. And again, I am guessing. But there's a reason for it. It's a very educated guess. So this is as high as it can go. And again, that could change. Like if something drastic changes, like for example, an entire continent starts relying on it, yeah, I could take that out, sure. But unless something like super crazy happens, you know, it would take a lot of adoption just to get it there, right? A lot. I mean, hell, wouldn't that be even more than a 35,000% run? Fuck yeah, that'd be like a 1,000,000% run. Fucking 150,000. Yeah, that would be bigger. So yeah, it's not going to go above there. But the more reasonable targets are between 14 to 42 cents. And that is making assumptions. 4-year cycle maintains. Therefore, the top is close to 2025. If for some reason Bitcoin separates from the stock market, and the bull run starts early, therefore it doesn't top out in November. And it tops out, because honestly, I think that might be what happens. Let's say it tops out earlier, and let's say the November before. Or December before. Let's do December. Those same lines would be here. Oh, wait, I'll leave that there. Hold on. $1.50. Oh, you son of a bitch. Now, oh, wrong line. I was gonna say they're equidistant. Why isn't it aligning? Goes on the wrong one. All right, so there you go, right behind me. If the top of the cycle is November 2024 because the separation from the stock market, which isn't guaranteed. So if it doesn't separate from the stock market, it probably will be 2025. But if Nasdaq gets to 9,600 and then Bitcoin starts separating, which is my theory, that's line B on the chart that I've been circulating that you won't find anywhere else. If it does, yeah, these are more reasonable targets. So it cuts it in about half. It cuts it in slightly more than half. It would top out at about half the value as it would have had Bitcoin not separated and gone up early. And that's it. There you go. Telcoin. Let's do short term. Well, you're gonna draw these lines. You're gonna go back on this video and draw these lines, so you have them forever, right? And all you got to do, if you want them off your chart just for a little bit, is go here. And let's say, so you see how it has a bunch of trend lines? See that? All you got to do is put them in a folder and hide them. Because you don't necessarily always want them on your chart, especially if you're a big Telcoin geek with all your other stuff. It gets confusing sometimes. So you want it in a folder, right? So all you need to do is, even though it won't say price, it'll say trend line, like here. But you click the top one, click this button, then click the second one, let go, hold shift now, go down to the last one, click, then let go, because you clicked with shift, and now you just touch anywhere and drag up until you see a blue line appear. Blue line's there, blue line's gone. Blue line's there, it's gone. There again. That means all of those will go in the folder. Collapse the folder with that arrow, hit hide, and well, what else did I have on the chart? And now it all disappears. All right. So I strongly suggest you do it. So short term, I can't tell if it's going to get this or not, the next origin line. Because it could come up shy. Let's see. Let's just do a basic. Let's dive into the 5-minute chart and were most interactions with this line bullish or bearish. It's going to give us the best. Yeah, I can't really tell quite yet. How far above 25% run? That would require a short squeeze. So Bitcoin would have to go to about 20K for that to happen. It might not happen, but we'll have a nice move up. So let's zoom into the 3-minute chart. This is saying it's under it. Why did it flip like that? It is under it. Okay, so it is bearish. Why did that change so much? Damn, Tradingview. So it is actually under it. The larger time frames misrepresented this. I don't think it's going to get back above. I think it'll do another failure pattern if Bitcoin goes up to 1890. If it hits the trend, if it hits the master origin line, it'll do a failure pattern, and where it'll stop will be exactly right here. It'll be a 45-degree angle, and it'll probably be close to a horizontal. So it should hit that exact target. or close to it. I don't think it'll get much over it. I don't think it'll get over the top of the projector tool. Because at that time, Bitcoin will be hitting the weekly 10. And if you follow my channel, we already know it's just so extraordinarily likely that without a short squeeze, it's going to hit it and go down, macro down. Not instantly, like 1 hour, you're a millionaire because you shorted with selling your house. And no, that's not what I'm saying. I would imagine that it would take until like January or New Year, and then to really start accelerating down. But anyway, that's what I got for short-term time frame Telcoin. Because I know the limits of Bitcoin, that is as high as this run will probably go before it has to pull back. And then could it go higher? Absolutely. But you're going to have to work back above this origin line, not with higher highs, just with higher lows. So after you hit this, it's okay to have lower highs. You just have, yes. It's okay to have lower highs. So you just need higher lows the whole time as you approach. And if it does that and it doesn't keep higher low structure, so lower highs are fine as it approaches. So you essentially want it jammed in a triangle, an ascending triangle. That's the only way it can get above this origin line. But it can't do it on the first pass. It doesn't have permission. It won't happen. It's not going to happen. Very likely. I don't want to make guarantees, but to me, it's not going to happen. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree. But could it go up after it hits that and pulls back? Absolutely. But you will be able to see it approach this origin line with higher lows, specifically. And that's Telcoin short term. I didn't even have to use an indicator. It's following those lines really well. So that's really about all you need. I mean, look, if you were trading this and you see it get above and then slam back down and use it as support, what kind of trades are you going to take? Longs. Would that have worked out for you? Yeah. Like really well. All right. Just wondering how much you made this year trading. That's Mattis' question. Not as much as I should have. Well, everybody could probably say that. Besides a few of my previous house members, I had 2 house members where I got them to get out at like almost exactly at the top with their like Verasity was one and Trias was another. Yeah, I got. So house members is like the premium stuff where it's one-on-one and I charged a lot of money because I quit my day job, right? But I can't offer that anymore. How much? So personally, with my KuCoin account, I 10x'd it. Most of that came from MTV. That was a $94,000 trade from exact open to exact close. So I locked it in. Did I give a lot of that back to the market? Fuck yes, I did. I did not lock that in. I mean, hell, with like, I probably used a portion of that. So a portion of that profit, I hit another couple good trades that didn't go quite. So I think I 35x'd, and it was in 40 days. Like it was it was like a trade of a lifetime. Too bad I gave a lot. So I gave a lot of it back to the market because of the Wyckoff. It got me. It took half of it back. That was my KuCoin account. So I'll let you know for one account. I 10x'd. So I took 30K to 300. I did not keep all of that. But that was during the, right? Yeah. So I had other individual trades that did way better than 10x, right? I did a 36 or 35x with MTV. I did a 19 or 20x almost. Let's see. I did about 20x on BPro. In and out. Like literally from the time I bought to the time I sold, it was almost exactly 20x. Not like, ooh, it was 20x, but then I didn't sell. Then I was 4x. No, I sold it at 20x. OLT, I sold it about 20x. But, Silo, I sold it about 15x. But then I had a lot of other trades that just never took off. And they were, so a portion of my money was not doing anything, as some of it 20x, some of it did this. So on average, it averaged 10x. Yeah, that's the answer. And again, Wyckoff took half of it back pretty quickly. So 5x. That's not that great for a KuCoin account, but that's what I did. Yeah, Wyckoff really scorched me pretty badly. But I think it scorched everybody. So unless you or the market maker shorted it. But yeah, that's a good question. I've never been asked that before. And then my other accounts, I don't know. They're not locked in my memory as well. Because some of it was from 2017. Yeah, I'll just stick with that. But now you had me curious, like how because I did a few platforms to spread out my risk. I need to go back and look. I actually don't know overall how well I did in the bull market. Shame on me. I should know. But I do know specifically for KuCoin, because that was what I kept public, and I let my Discord see what I was doing. I pulled it up and they could see my account, like the exact dollars. So kind of like I do with Coinbase. Coinbase, I only have it for trading Dash. And I essentially am making this public. I started off with 100 Dash here. And at the time, Dash was worth like 150 bucks. Right now, it's worth less than a third of that. And I still grew the dollar value of this freaking account, which is actually kind of impressive. With only 1x moves, 1x shorts, 1x longs, the value of your accumulated coin is a third, but your money still went up as you accumulated. Like, I don't know, that's pretty solid. To accumulate well enough in a bear market where your dollar value goes up as your coin gets cut in a third, that's, I don't know, that's pretty solid. I think it's pretty solid. So this dip right here, if you can see that, that's when I was holding Dash. It took a nosedive, and then, so I don't get all 1x shorts. Like, I missed that move, right? I should have 1x short. I should have been holding Tether there, but I didn't. But overall, that's pretty solid. Pretty solid shit. Technically, it should be $500 lower because I have 500 in here that are reserved for something else. So technically, it's actually only at 12.3, but I started off at 8. This public account about, yeah, it's at 8,500. Yeah, it's 8,500 bucks. So maybe it was at 85 when I did it. Wait a minute. Did I start trading this on, because I'm not seeing the big dip from when I held at 120. Maybe I started this on, maybe it was early. Yeah, because I could have sworn it was in April. Maybe I moved it over here, and I've just been trading better since then. But overall, it was 100 Dash. Anyway, since July, I've spot traded well enough to increase it in the bear market. Yeah, you're kind of asking me without me being prepared. Right now, on my public account, I just market bought freaking almost 12K of Dogecoin. I already set my stops. I will lose exactly $420 well, plus fees, so probably like $460 if I'm wrong. And I won't be exposed to being wrong for too long because I'm going to move my stops up higher. All right. Trias daily squeeze, daily 10, 200 price getting trapped. Let's take a look. Thank you, CJ Wars. Thank you, Manus. Thank you, Crypto Bull and Mitchell Hewing. All right, so Trias daily squeeze. Okay, hit my target. Went a little lower. Oh yeah. So I went all in from a percentage basis. It's not like very much money because I'm testing the Shrimpy, the copy trade account. Started with $100 on H1, so the trade is still brewing. So the Kadena trade here, Trias here, Verasity here, Flux here. I don't know, it's only like 1%, 2% stuff, but whatever. Because it went down about 1% before the move up, so I entered a day early. All right, Trias. So I'm on a live stream Trias super chat question talking about, is there going to be, oops, wrong one. Is there going to be a daily squeeze between daily 10, 200? Oh, that is a powerful squeeze. If it's about ready to happen. So that's a great question. Daily 10. So I use the 1 hour 200 as my daily 10. Well, right now Trias is under the daily 10, so it's not going to squeeze. Yeah, you need to use the 1 hour 200. It's better than the daily 10. Only on assets that trade 24/7 though. That's not true because it's different. The 1 hour 200 is not aligned with the daily 10 on traditional markets. Not even the futures that trade 23 hours a day, 5 days a week. It's not the same. It's closer to being the same, but it's not. So yeah, so right now there is no squeeze. It's it got rejected. So what's going to happen is it can have redemption, but it has to. So this is the squeeze. Right now, it's in a more bearish posturing to get squeezed down, but like a soap bar, just because you have it in your hands and you think you're going to squeeze it one way, that's the whole point of that analogy. You really don't know. So right now, this is the squeeze. Actually, it's even smaller. It's like this. It's going to get stuck in that pattern unless it breaks above this line. So Trias has to forcibly make up its mind by December 10th. So that's freaking in 2 days. So you're going to know within 2 days what's going to happen. It's either going to get above that line, and therefore you're going to go back into that potential squeeze. And if you do get above the line, you already know that its next target is this. Exactly this. Like that is where it'll want to run, period. Might be down here by that time. But if it doesn't get over that, it's going to fall down, and you already know where it's going to go. It's going to go to $1.50, straight to it. Not in a 1 hour, and you could have lower highs on the way. You could have a retest, but it still hit the line. Actually, I would expect a retest. I would expect a strong move down, an initial punch, and then it's going to bait people to get bullish again, and then it's going to roll over. If it gets squeezed down. I don't know which one will happen. Right now, the price is interacting very bearishly with this line. Well, no, it's actually consolidating under it, so that's not as bearish right now. So this is still bearish, this is still bearish, but now that you have a few candles stacking up here, it's not as bearish. Because if you can consolidate here, you're gonna spike right through it, and you don't need to come back down to retest it. So if you respect a resistance line from the bottom with time, which means consolidating under it, and often at the same angle. So if this were coming down and you saw a price come up to it, then consolidate. Even though it's going down, that's still a bullish consolidation. And then it goes boom. And that's what creates what people call bull flags. It just means whatever is the main thing in play that big money's looking at, it has a downward slope. And price can't get over it, but it stays close. And it's defended. And then it busts up. That's all that the bullish flag is. Whatever's in play is a downward sloping object. I still can't, it's not bullish yet, but these next, like the fact that you have 4 candles here, it does make it less bearish. It's kind of in the neutral zone. Right now, it's probably a 50-50 on whether it's going to break up without using external analysis like Bitcoin. I think that it will actually break up. Its first move will be above it because Ethereum, it can't have a local top yet. But it doesn't guarantee that Trias will follow Ethereum. So but I think Ethereum does give it an edge that it'll initially get above. But here's the thing, to get instantly bearish the next time it goes below here, because it's going to go straight to this line, it'll get trapped, then it will go down. So if it does go above, the next time it goes below that 1 hour 200, it's going to go down fast, real fast. And you can tell that this is the line. I mean, look, look at this. Okay, look at the shape of this. See that? Wick, all the support, wick, where's price now? What's the one thing that fits that? The one thing I put on the chart that my super chat asked for? Daily 10. Uh-oh. Oh shit, what was that line? Maybe that wasn't the daily 10. Fucking A, what did I just do? Now I'm being stupid. Maybe that isn't the daily 10. Maybe I'm just 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour 200. Okay, yeah. So that is the daily 10. But look how perfectly that is. Look at the shape. What was causing that shape to bounce like that? This line is a big deal. Like, this is literally among the most magic lines in all of crypto is the 1 hour 200, folks. It works on almost every coin out there. Look, just fucking look at this. If you want to make trading simple, be bearish, short-term bearish, after price uses this as resistance, until it uses it as support. Maybe here. Now you're bullish. How long would have you been right taking longs off this line? Once, you would have missed that one. Twice, 3 times. There you go. Because each time this is big enough of a move to get your stop in profit. Hell yeah, 16%, your stop better be in profit, or else you're an idiot. Or you maybe not an idiot. You might be smart, but you don't know what you're doing. That was my case about 4 or 5 years ago. I've done that too. I've taken a great entry, but I didn't know how to lock in my profit or use risk management as profit taking. So yeah, I wasn't necessarily an idiot. I just didn't know what I was doing 5 years ago. So I've been there, done that. But yeah, it would have worked out beautifully. And then, did it use it as resistance on the way back up? No. So you didn't flip bearish. Oh, no. So sorry. You would have. But you can't trade. So you would have been holding tether. Then you would have seen all that happen, come back down, and you would have bought back right where you sold it. So you would have had about the same amount of Trias there. Nope, you wouldn't have been able to play that perfectly. But you would have freaked out saying, oh no, I'm holding tether and Trias went up 14%. Well, cool your tits. Wait 2 days, and now, right where you sold it, you can buy the bitch back. If you just freaking wait. Because it always touches this line. That's the beauty of this line. It always gets touched no matter what. You cannot go too far above this line ever. There is a limit. It's a mean reversion. It will always come back to it. And if it goes too far below, it will always go back up to it. So look at this. So like a rubber band, it got stretched too far below. What did it do? Snapped. And I have a team leader that's one of his favorite plays. Not necessarily on this line, but the idea of mean reversions. Yeah, you can literally, folks, you could potentially make a living off of trading the 1 hour 200 EMA and have no other strategies. Seriously. It is, but not all coins fit it perfectly. But with Trias right now, I mean, it is the line. It is with most cryptos, including Bitcoin, because it's the daily 10. There you go, Trias. That's how to play it, folks. Or that's one way to play it. There are many ways to play it. All right, that's all super chats. I got about 20 more minutes left before I got to run to the pharmacy before they close. Oh, God. 813 is one of my favorite spots to visit. What are you talking about? Is that a restaurant or something? Y'all from the same... Stay Humble 777. All altcoins that are not monetary coins are shit coins. But there are some pretty good shit coins. Can we look at FTM? All right, now I'm gonna... So I got a couple of tier members asking questions. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip your questions, guys. I just totally forgot. Hey, Tim, once you're taking requests, do analysis on XOM stock. Okay, sure. Energy stocks are fucking fire right now. Damn! Wow, that's powerful as shit. Man, war is so profitable. Oh my God, war is so profitable. But with Bitcoin, it won't be. Because you can't print Bitcoin. Like, if you guys think about it, Bitcoin will help to end wars in the world. Like, if it becomes the world currency, how are wars funded? By printing money. There have been very few exceptions in modern history. Spain funded their wars by going to look for gold. They didn't print money. They just mined gold until it ran out. But about since then, I think almost every war has been funded with printing money and impoverishing the people, or inflating the people's money, making their dollar every hour they work worth less because of war that they're making profit from, but you get poor. Gosh, this is what this chart's doing. Like, you could just see it, how profitable war is. It's just so sad. So sad. Man. All right. What happened here? So, I don't know if I can give a super sound analysis on this unless I know what happened in 07, 08 to maybe the energy sector in general. This is really flat, and it had never been flat before. I mean, obviously we had a recession there. That's what brought it down. But why did it lose its slope and then got rejected from it? Something, so this might be, I don't know if they split their, like, did something with a stock. Well, maybe not a stock split. I would need to know what happened here. What changed its slope? But without knowing that, God, this was straight up for so long. It's going to hit that bottom line. Let me get it more perfect. Hold on. Man, that change of slope is so strange. But regardless, it's going to be hit. So it's going right here. Like, that 160 is almost guaranteed on this chart. When I say that, please take that with a grain of salt. It just means very statistically probable. Like, it might mean 70% chance, but I should stop saying that. I need to stop saying that. I need to stop saying the word, even like the word guarantee in general, even if I put almost or nearly. I need to stop saying that. It's not a good thing to be saying. I apologize. There you go. Yeah, actually 160. But if you want me to complete this chart, that's the master zone. So the majority of all trading volume was around or in that line of all the whole history of this. So that's the master zone. I don't know if the top one or the bottom is the master origin line, but it doesn't matter. It's the point of control. It's the point of control of the whole graph. And then I need to figure out how many how much. Man, this is a really tight chart. I cannot believe how regular, like, this thing would be a regular pooper in life. Like, I mean, Exxon wakes up at 6 a.m. and takes a crap by 6:30 every day of its life until 2007. Until 2007. And now it shits itself. Wow. Yeah, it's going to hit, actually. There you go. It'll probably still hit 160. It'll go a little bit above that line. It'll do something like this, at least. Like it'll probably ride it for a while. So it actually, honestly, it'll probably do a few local highs at that area. It's going to behave just like that. That's it. When it gets there, assuming it does, it should move just like that. Because there's going to be too much momentum, and the sellers selling that line are not going to be able to overpower the buyers at first. But they'll create an equilibrium, and it'll go boom, boom. Or wait, well, yeah, it'll probably go boom, boom, and squeak out higher highs. We got a higher high. Might do it 2 or 3 times. I don't think it'll get all the way up there or there, but it'll have to reset after it hits here. Yeah, around 160. It should hit 160. And that is by March of next year. March or April. That's the time frame. You know why, right? Because that was the bottom line, and it hasn't retested it yet. Look. There's 0 retests. Went below, went straight above. No bearish interaction. Went below, went straight above. No bearish interaction. Went used as support, went above, went below. You did not get a bearish interaction. Like it's going to go want to touch it. Like it's almost as if it's actually, this is like really close to what is true. Why that's going to happen. You'll appreciate this if you've ever had small kids or have small kids. The first times that small kids, after they're walking and can kind of communicate, their first 50 times in an elevator, as long as they're still under the age of 5 or 6. So from 2 to 6 or 1.5 to 6, you're in an elevator, kids just can't help but touching a fucking button. Oh, that's 2 F-bombs in a month. Oh man, because I used one earlier this week. Darn it. All right, whatever. Smoker Joe would be mad at me. But that's an inside joke for people who've been watching my channel for a while. It's similar to that. So this is a button. It has not been touched from below. So the people who move this price the most, they are going to want to know, how are sellers going to react here? They will push it up there. And also, think about it this way. Where is the logical point for people to start taking profits and start selling harder? at that line. So it's like you have free reign up to it. And once you get there, it's like, it's like, ooh, we don't know what happened, but that's why it's probably going to write it. Yeah, I think that's exactly what will happen. But the whole button thing is, if you think it this way, it never got to touch it. So what happens if you have two small kids in an elevator who are like a year apart or whatever? Let's say the older sister pushes the button for floor 3 and it turns red, and then the 2-year-old's like, I wanted to press the button, right? So you get mad if you can't touch it, and it hasn't touched it. That's literally what's going on. But for the other reasons of it has free reign, because the logical place for people to take heavy profits is there. Therefore, there won't be much sell pressure until that point. And therefore, anybody who's interested in selling either doesn't have a good reason to sell quite yet, or is a buyer as of now, and they will flip to a seller there. Yeah, I'm really confident with that guess too. It just looks like it has to happen. Does it mean I'm going to be right? No, but man, I think that's exactly how. Like, even when it gets up there, I think that's exactly how it'll move. I don't know why. I just feel like I got a good read on that chart, but I still would want to know what happened in 2007 or 2000. Yeah, around the Lehman Brothers crash. But something integral changed with energy stocks then. I don't know if it was like Obama regulations in the U.S. about energy. I'm not for sure. But you would want to know that if you're interested in it. All right. DCF asks Phantom Near ICP, which one of these do you think may have the best chance of doing well next bull market? Or any others in mind, excluding monetary coins. Who the fuck knows? That's 3 in a month. Damn it. Who TF knows? But that wasn't my word. I was reading it, so that's fine. Who TF knows what they will do? That's fair. You just know that they can't get exposed by the SEC, or they're not going to. That's what you know. I don't think I can answer your question. I would say whichever one has the most backing from non-retail, institutional backing, not VCs. VCs are all getting their asses handed to them. I'm not talking about that, but like, for example, Algorand in a bear market just got like I don't know what it was in the hundreds of millions? Was it like $125 million grant? Like, that's a big deal. It was the beginning of the bear market, but that's a big ass deal. That's a big deal. That's crazy. So which one of those three has something like that going on? That's more than just the founders hodling their coins, trying to get exit liquidity. I don't know. I don't know the answer, but if I were to look for an answer, I would go after that as my first one. And then for my second weighted, my rubric, how I'm going to grade these, right, would be it'd also be fundamental. I would want to know how much the use case is actually being used. And I don't know if total locked value in layer ones is a good measurement of that. That might be the best measurement, because I already know blockchain activity gets spoofed. It would be a good measurement, the amount of actual blockchain activity, which you can look up. Oh God, Blocktivity. Blocktivity shows you the most active blockchains in the world. Actually, let's freaking look at that. I haven't looked at it in a long time. Blocktivity. What did I do wrong? Blocktivity. Wow, Wax is just wiping the floor with everybody. Oh my God. It's not even close. All right, so Tron and EOS, I don't think they're spoofing their blockchain activity. Like, the one that was doing that got taken down by the SEC already, early. So this is the coin I had the most interest in last bear market for this reason. But I only did an 8x on it. And I sold for BPRO, which is a good idea. So I went 8x to 20x on that portion of my portfolio. I didn't go all in. Actually, no, I did go all in with Tone. I all in my, you know what? I did better than 10x. I didn't count my, so I 80x'd. I did an 80x on KuCoin. Yeah, my 10x was after my 8x. I 80. Damn, so I did do okay. I was gonna say 10x kind of low. When I said that, I was like, ugh, that's not very good at all. I mean, hell, you could have fucking bought anything and got a 10x. Yeah, I 80x'd. Yeah, I 8x'd and then 10x'd. So that's not bad. I feel a lot better now. I was actually kind of worried. And that's why whoever asked me that got me thinking and it got me curious. I was like, man, that doesn't sound very good. Like, I need to go back and look. So if I made a $94,000 one trade in 36 days, like, how could I have only 10x? Yeah, because I was counting my starting point after I 8x that. That is why. Because I was accumulating. So what happened was I was accumulating on the time axis in 2018 and 2019 and 2020 until coronavirus. And then I knew it was going to be off to the races for the most part. After I saw that macro higher low. Because it needed a double, it never retested the lows. And that's what I knew. And so then I stopped DCAing and went more for active playing. So I DCA for a year and a half in that bitch. And I 8x'd it. All right, so 80x, that's not bad. All right, so you said near. Wow, Bitcoin Cash is up pretty high. Proton? What? No wonder people were freaking asking so much about that. Okay, how is Luna here? That's not a good thing. So Tron and EOS, they have really high blockchain activity. I might be incorrect with what I'm about to say, though. I am not a good... I don't know... Yeah, I don't know if I'm a great source for what I'm about to say. My understanding is they have high blockchain activity in light of... They essentially run casinos. And so they have a lot of activity. But that's not crypto. Like, if that is all of their use case, it'll die. You don't... Like, gambling has done very well without crypto forever. Since it's been invented. It will continue doing very well. Will crypto and gambling on the blockchain, will it create an edge to that market to trample your competition within gambling? It might create some edge, but it's a big industry. It took credit cards 20 years for half the American population to adopt it after Visa invented credit cards. Bitcoin's only 13 years old. It took credit cards 20 years to get half the population in one country. And now everybody has, like, people, now it's a flip. Like, people don't use cash, you use card now. Wow, this Wax thing is a big deal. So I think Wax is a protocol that allows online, it's gaming, fuck, what was it? I almost went like a quarter in my portfolio on Wax last bear market and Theta. Too bad I didn't do that. They did it really well, but I was so close to going big caps last time. But I went mostly tone for that reason. Wax does online gaming art items for sale, so it's a marketplace to trade skins and guns and whatever people are into. I think that's what wax. So it's being used. That's a big deal for everybody. Oh, Dash is on there. Fuck yeah. So this is Latin America using Dash. Told you. So these are the most active blockchains in the entire world. Right here. I don't see any that are spoofed. There were some on here. I can't remember what it was, but it got taken down by the SEC in like right at the beginning of the bull market, I think. Because I'd been looking at it the whole bear market, trying to figure out should I buy it. Then I realized, oh, they have an open case, so no way. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, there we go. I gotta leave soon though. That would be my second requirement. The third one is measure down from wick high which one has lost the least. And I would rack up the points from those. I don't know how you'd weight it. Like maybe weighted 50, 30, 20. I don't know. And you don't have to have it the same order as me either. Ooh, this is a big deal. This higher number means there's more bullish divergence. What is SCR? Whatever. So then again, wow, that is what the hell is this? Oh, that's the blockchain, dude. What? A 1 million market cap coin with one of the most active blockchains in the world? What? Hold on. How is that possible? Well, it was last bear market too, because Tone was the 12th. It was between the 12th to the 8th most active blockchain in the world, with about a between 1 to 4. Yeah, it bounced between 1 and 4 million market cap for like a year and a half. So I guess that makes sense. SCR. So this one might be spoofed, but I can't confirm that. I don't know. So sports betting. I don't understand what's happening. This looks like a freaking news website. What's happening? I don't know what. I don't like that. I wouldn't go out. Don't go freaking out, people, over that. Don't get all bullish. Because then again, it didn't work out for me in Tone last time. I still got an 8x, but it wasn't the right play. And the reason why I did that is because it's a VeChain competitor, and outside of market cap, in terms of business maturity, it's better in every way than VeChain. It has actual customers and has for a long time. It has actual revenue that covers all operating costs. VeChain doesn't. Still doesn't. But they have partnerships. For 6 years, got partnerships with everybody. Buy our coins. We have promises and pink papers and brown papers. I don't understand why people are so bullish on something that has promises 6 years later. That is crazy. Ugh. But, and how, so my bet with Tone was a big YouTuber would pick it up, compare it to VeChain, and I would be able to retire. It did not happen. Could it have happened? Yeah. And maybe at the exact moment I made that game plan, had the universe split into 1,000 different universes, but at that moment all were the same, but then were left to their own devices. It's possible I was in one of the, out of 1,000 universes, I was in one of the 100 universes where my plan didn't work. I'll never know. I can only have access to this universe. All right, let me see if there's one more question for me, and then well, there are more questions, but you got a short on KDA $1.12. Looking good, add more. Would a guy have a good chance of making that work? Hypothetically speaking, of course, Pokemon cards. Hey, thanks, 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐜𝐸. Appreciate it for the super chat without a question. Well, yeah, the daily 10. So your short is safe as long as it's under the 1 hour 200. If you see price get above it and use it as support, then that's when I personally would bail. But I would not bail until that happens. Or you can have your stop somewhere above that, right? Like make sure you're out. If you're sleeping and it pumps, like you need to be out when it price is above there, just period. All right, cool. Well, I'm off to pick up, I need to race out to the farmacia. So I will see you all on Tuesday at 6 p.m. New York time. I want to leave you with a challenge, though. I just ran a Twitter poll about when is the last time you traded. Here's the challenge. It was about, what was it, like 2/3 out of 4 options of when was the last time. It was about 2/3 never, or over 60 days ago. That's scary for me. So if you are prepping for next bull run by educating yourself, okay, that's good. Watching my channel, other channels, that's great. But you're not clicking buy and sell, even if it's with that $10 position. $10. If you're not hitting the buttons with a general game plan, it doesn't even have to be a great game plan in hindsight. You set up a game plan. You buy and sell, or short and buy, right? So buy or sell then close. But if you're a person who hasn't traded, if you're in that bucket, you don't need futures. You need spot price only. No leverage, no margin. Right? Just buy the underlying asset. So actual Bitcoin, actual Ethereum, actual KDA. But here's my challenge for those people who fall in that bucket. Even if it's $10, make a good plan or make some type of plan. Doesn't have to be great because you only have $10 on the line. Worst case, you get totally screwed. A flash crash of 50%, you lost $5. Wow, a lot of risk, right? The goal is not to make money with what I'm about to say. If you do that twice a week, just twice a week, 10 to 15 bucks, especially if you're on KuCoin with Trias, it's a very small minimum buy and sell, right? I mean, sometimes it's like 10 cents, depending on the coin. You can't find that almost anywhere else. So the challenge is make a game plan, open a trade, close a trade, do it twice a week. Or at least open a trade twice a week. Hit buy and sell. Here's why. You're not going to make a lot of money doing it if you're just doing it with like 20, 30 bucks. So why would you do it? Why? Yes, Kevin. That is correct, Kevin. Because you are practicing essentially punching yourself in the face before a boxing match. You are training your jaw. You are training for boxing. So when you're training for boxing with a partner, sometimes hits you, right? Are you trying to knock out that partner? No. If you're on the big arena, are you trying to knock out that partner, aka make money? Yes. So the intent is different. It's practice. Why would you want to practice? So you don't get your ass kicked in the ring. Does crypto bull market relate? Yes. It's even more wild than just one person coming at you trying to punch you in the freaking face. It is the Royal Rumble of WWF or whatever it was called when they still did that. I don't know if they still do it, but like a bunch of big, like sweaty, muscular dudes, like 30 of them in a small space, like throwing each other around. Royal Rumble. It's a bull market's more intense than somebody coming at you with boxing gloves in the face. I'm telling you it is. So if you must practice before you have a boxing match, especially if you've never boxed before, why isn't it true that you must practice buying and selling before you go buy and sell in the Royal Rumble. That's true. But what are you actually doing? What are you training? You're training your mind. You have to make it boring. Because once those green candles come, it's going to be intoxicating. And you have to have had a point where you already know it's not supposed to be intoxicating. It'll still be pretty intoxicating, but it'll be less so. Way less so. So, for example, a kitten that hasn't heard a lot of loud noises will react to the stimuli, like, ah! The first 50 times. Psychologically, reaction to an external stimuli. Ah! After 50 of those times, the cat jerks and moves around a little bit less. And over time, the cat's just like, wags its tail. Right? That's what you want to do. Because the bull market or buying and selling is a psychological stimuli. Very powerful one. You have to be that cat who just goes, eh. But in the past, the cat was like, ah! That's what you're doing. Last thought, and then I'm out. Here's what it does for you. You're going to be less scared to sell, and you're going to lock in more profits. You're going to make so much more money if you successfully practice in a bear market without the intent of knocking out an opponent, because you're practicing. Your intent is to literally train your stimuli so it's not a big deal to you once the real stimuli happens. That is my challenge. 2 open and close trades a week, even with $10. Do it every week until the weekly 10 crosses above the weekly 21, and then you can take a break and just start real trading, because that's when you're going to start real trading for money. Weekly 10 goes above the weekly 21. But you have to practice. You have to. Don't let me come back and say I told you so, just like I have so many times about everything dropping 95%. Who the believed me? Only people, OGs, who had been here as long as me or longer. I'm a pseudo OG. I'm class of 2017. You had to have been in crypto in 2013 or prior to be an OG. I'm a 1/3 OG. But no noobs, you can't comprehend it, right? So anyway, and this is something you also can't comprehend until you do it. Just like the whole 95% thing, it came true. What I'm saying now, it will be true. I'm telling you, if you successfully practice, you will be more profitable your next bull run. Which means if you don't practice, you will make less money, and by a mile. You might make like 1/10 of the money because you're not locking in profits.